It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
Oh my God. Ben, happy almost Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy almost Valentine's Day to you, Max.
Wow.
You got any special plans on that day? I know I do.
I'm going to ignore my girlfriend so I can take fastidious notes while watching Perfect Match to podcast.
Me too. That's
oh my God. I cannot wait. Hopefully she got me a box of chocolate so I can have some substance, some brain power so I can focus while watching Perfect Match.
Yeah.
So we can recap perfectly that night.
I said to my wife, I said, baby, clear your schedule on Valentine's Day. Clear it completely. I got a big surprise for you. We're going to be watching Perfect Match all night. And I'm going to take notes.
I usually need a foot rub while I'm podcasting, so maybe that's what I can get on Valentine's Day, you know? Yeah, that would be really nice. Hopefully that'll be going on. No.
They're lucky ladies, aren't they? They're lucky.
Hey, we do the Lord's work. People need these very in-depth reality TV shows to be recapped. Otherwise, they won't know what's going on. These are very complicated characters.
Without us, this world is chaotic.
Yes, there are dogs barking, cats chirping, pigeons talking. Who knows what's going on in this world? It is difficult nowadays, you know? But what are we doing here today, Ben? What are we going to do here?
We're talking Perfect Match, baby. We're talking about all the contestants. We're going to get into it. We're going to make predictions, maybe. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. We're going to talk about each one of them.
Ben, we have watched every single show that all 22 cast members have been on. Yes, literally every show, every episode that these people have been on, we have watched. So you do not have to. That is why this episode of the podcast is
clarification on that. Clarification on that. I'm not quite there yet.
Ben is not. I have, though.
I will be there by February 14th. I'll tell you what I have watched. Obviously, I've watched all The Circle. Obviously, I've already watched all of Love is Blind. Those were already done for me. But the new ones I did watch season 1 of Too Hot to Handle. Boring. I did watch Selling Tampa. Boring. I did watch 20-somethings Austin. Cute. Really cute. Adorable show. Really quite an adorable show.
Worth watching.
I really liked it. It was really sweet. And I'm very excited to see Abby on this season.
Yes.
But that is what I've watched so far. I have not seen the Sexy Beasts episode yet. I have not seen the other seasons of Too Hot to Handle. So, but I'll get there.
Well, we're going to break it all down because I have, and just so you guys know, I'm going to spoil, Ben's going to spoil, we're going to spoil everything. Everything will be spoiled. So, you know, we're going to get into that. Who
like
won?
The Perfect Match episodes. We haven't seen
No, not the Perfect Match episodes.
We don't have screeners.
The seasons that the people were on and what happened on them specifically will be spoiled because we're going to think about how that will inform what will happen.
The statute of limitations for spoilers has expired for Love is Blind.
We are a week away from Perfect Match. You need to start researching, and this is the perfect way to do it. We are your guide. So we will now introduce Reality Alert presents Netflix's Perfect Match cast assessment. We watched every show, so you don't have to. 2023 edition, Ultimate Edition.
Deluxe.
Yes. Director's cut.
Plus max. And not that kind of max. I mean like maximum max. Yeah.
With Showtime.
Which, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And stars.
So should we start with with a show that we really like.
Ooh, honey, little sassy.
Love is Blind.
Sexy be. Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, Love is Blind. Yes.
Yes, Love is Blind. A little
Different direction.
maybe go season by season. Start with season 1.
Okay.
And let's start with one of the most infamous characters in cast members, not characters. These might be real people. We don't know. It's never been confirmed if these are real people or not. LC from Love is Blind, everybody.
He
One of the most
face of season 1.
The face of season 1.
Remember, we used to.
Sorry.
We used to call. Didn't we used to call her Messy instead of LC? Remember?
Yes.
That? Yes,
Yes. I think that was the mess name of that thing, right?
Yes, of that whole
Yeah.
season. She fed the dog wine. I remember. She got into fights and she was trying to steal other people's matches. You know, that's her all the way.
Yeah, she's actually the most famous LC of reality TV history too. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I heard she's related to RC from Toy Story. Actually,
Oh, I was thinking you were going to talk about the cola, but Toy Story. Maybe the cola too.
The cola too. She's in the C family. Yeah.
Yeah. So Elsie is a 30-year-old account manager. By the way, I don't know if these sources that I got these ages from, I did not like go to their houses and ask them their birthday. They're from like
you didn't do a census.
starmapsbirthday.com or something, you know. So don't trust me on these birthdays. So she's a 30-year-old account manager. Or that's what she used to be. Now her Instagram profile says she's a voice actor, but I didn't delve too far into her voice acting credits. I don't care. She's the new RC in Toy Story 5.
I was gonna say she could be the new Rick or Morty. We don't know yet.
Oh, she could be.
It could be.
Could be.
The position is open.
Yeah, she's competing for it. So LC in season 1, if you remember, I haven't seen the show. She was competing, and we're not going to explain the whole show. Oh, did you have pictures? LOL, I forget who it is. Listener Kimberly is asking, how do you forget who LC is?
Come on.
All right, I'm going to start talking. Ben's going to bring it
I
up.
got
Okay?
it. Yeah.
LC did not even make
funny,
it.
as we started talking about LC, I was like, oh shit, do we need to have a picture up? Because people probably aren't going to remember.
Maria was like, LC Otter, Zoe Deschanel's child? Because her first name is Elsie and her middle name is Otter, like LC Otter. I was like, all right, we get it. You married Ben Gibbard and then you're with the property brother. Okay, Zoe? All right, so this is going to be a long podcast.
Yeah.
So Elsie did not even make it to Mexico. She was one of 3 people in the pods that was interested in Barnett. So there was Amber, Jessica, and LC. Once Jessica and Barnett ended things, it was just between LC and Amber. And Barnett was kind of figuring out who was going to be more serious and open up with him. But LC, they had a good rapport, but LC, it was always surface. She never opened up to Barnett.
She was always in the shallows. She never went into the deep end.
That is really what happened, you know? She never opened up. She never took it to that next level.
We're far from the shallow now.
So she was really heartbroken by Barnett. And the next time we saw her was, this is a good picture to bring up. Ben is bringing a picture of her up next to Mark. Because the next time we saw her was in After the Altar for season 1. And we found out that during lockdown, she started dating Mark.
Yes.
Who Jessica had been with during, who's engaged to during, Love is Blind season 1. Now,
I will say Elsie stepped up her game for After the Altar in terms of really making a splash.
Yes. Now, if you recall, during this time, she and Mark had this agreement where they would be exclusive with each other because she had asthma or something like that, and she was afraid to get COVID because she could get really sick.
Right.
And Mark was like, yeah, I don't hook up with a lot of girls. I just want to be exclusive. Well, he lied to her, and he was a dog, and she ended up getting COVID.
Yes, he had apparently been with this person, this other person that wasn't Elsie, that wasn't Jessica. He had been with her, what we know of, even when they were filming Love is Blind. Like, that's how far back it went.
Which is, you know,
Die! Get the fuck over here!
it's a dog move, yo, but not in a good way.
Over here.
Get the fuck over here, you dog.
Yeah,
And Amber took his side because they're best friends, and it's okay because she's married, she said. And they got in this big fight, Elsie and Amber, and basically, so Elsie basically said she's with her cats now at the end of season 1, but she's still looking for after the altar. She's still looking for her guy, and her and Diamond are good friends, and Diamond is going to be on the show. The last thing we really heard Elsie talk about was DMs. This is what she said.
Jess's boyfriend did slide into Jess's DMs. That's how they met. But that does not mean you can slide into my DMs. I'm not going on a date with whoever slides in my DMs. I'm just saying. Also, if you're going to do that, like, don't be a private profile with like a cartoon as a picture. Like, that's weird.
Which we were upset about because our profile picture is cartoon pictures of us. So
it is. Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's a cool thing to do. We get a lot of DMs. We have to be like, we're taken. So back off. It's really awkward. So
yeah, lots of animated people who are just really into animation messaging us.
Willing to date us. It's weird. So Elsie's clearly here on Perfect Match, looking for the one still, and she doesn't like meeting people over the internet, so it's perfect for her. So I hope her nothing but the best, but I don't have high hopes for her because I don't think she can open up.
Maybe things have changed for her. We don't know. It's been a while, Max. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm cautiously optimistic going forward.
That's really beautiful.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Next we have Diamond Jack, everybody.
Diamond. She was a diamond that shined so bright we didn't get to see too much of her on the first season.
I think we saw just enough.
Just enough.
I think we saw enough Diamond.
She did make a big splash.
Yeah. She's
on not just by throwing her ring in the pool.
Yeah, fuck a ring.
Fuck a ring. She also made a big splash at the after the altar as well.
Yes. Kimberly, do you remember Diamond Jack or Genius to bring up a picture?
You know what? I'll just do one for every single one. That way, everybody gets, because honestly, some of these characters, it might be difficult to remember. So,
yes. Did they get offended when we call them characters?
I
probably 50-50. 50 are overly sensitive. 50, they can handle it.
I don't know. If they're improv comedians, then they probably would not be offended. They'd probably be flat.
I'm sure they're all improv. I'm sure they've all taken a class.
Everybody has.
Okay,
so CB at some point.
Diamond got engaged to Carlton, and everything was seeming great until after their engagement, he revealed that he was bisexual, and she didn't like that she hadn't told him before.
She made it seem like he was keeping a secret from her.
Yes, she really didn't like it. They ended up getting in a big fight, and she threw the ring. They got in a big fight, big words, and they didn't make it past Mexico. So that's what happened in Love is Blind season 1. Now, after the altar, she was basically the main character of After the Altar for some reason.
Pretty much. Yep.
Netflix set her up on a date. It was a very set up date where she went to a bar at a car wash, which Ben was very upset about, that there would be a bar at a car wash. He thinks that those should not exist.
I think it promotes drunk driving, and I don't
Yes.
like it. Okay.
Ben has a petition on change.org you can sign to get this bar shut down.
I'm the head of Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yes, it's going to be linked at the podcast and on YouTube. You can go to it. And she met this lovely guy named Rumiel, and I don't have a soundbite from Diamond, but I do have a soundbite from Rumiel that we can listen to.
Okay.
I'm a breast man, so C cups or more. Anything less than that, I really can't do. But that's just my preference. Shout out to all the ladies out there with the A's and B's.
I mean, what a guy!
How could she break his heart? I don't understand.
I
He's
was
such a sweetie pie.
After listening to that, you're probably thinking, how is she on Perfect Match and not married to this man?
Right. Yeah, we thought it was going to be a happily ever after.
Well, they did go on a date she brought him to the Love is Blind season 1 reunion / anniversary party for the 2 married couples, where she then left him in a corner and didn't talk to him for the entire party.
Yeah. They didn't even get to go to a car wash and get drunk afterwards and then drive home drunk.
Yeah.
It's really a shame.
He left angrily during the party, and she never saw him again for what we know.
Well, but then she was like, I remember during that party after he left, then she went around saying, this guy, he just completely abandoned me, and she was crying.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So Diamond has a lot of energy. I'm sure we're going to see her on this show a lot. I'm sure she's going to be a center of attention. Because that's Diamond. She shines
a flair
bright
for the dramatic.
Yes, she does. So yeah, should be interesting.
Yes.
Who do we see Diamond potentially pairing up with on this show? Who's her person?
Probably no one who's bisexual, Ben. I don't think that's going to work out based on what happened before, I'm not sure who is, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Do you think they're all going to stick with their shows? Do you think...
you think they're going to form an alliance?
Yeah, they're going to form alliances. Do you think LC and Diamond are going to date in a 3-way with Damien? Is this possible? And they could go all the way to the end and win them.
They're going to break down by shows, and then they're going to break down by seasons too.
Yes, then by seasons afterwards.
Oh, we haven't talked about the format for the show, which we do have some information on.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
So how does it work? Each night, the contestants must pair up amongst themselves to share a private suite in a luxe Panamanian villa. Then couples will compete against other couples in compatibility challenges, where the winners will receive the ability to control which new singles enter the house and who they go on dates with. Plus, the winning couple gets to go on an extra special date for themselves. Once the new singles enter the house, the contestants must again decide who their perfect match is. Anyone left alone at the end of the night is eliminated.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit of Love Island, a little bit of Are You the One structure,
a little bit of Monica by my side.
Right.
Yeah, so it is going to be interesting to see how it breaks down.
Yes.
Shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Next from season 1, and the final person from Love is Blind season 1, Damien Powers, everyone. He's 31 years old. He used to have a different job, a boring one, but now he's an influencer, everybody. And before we get into it, I want to play this thing, and I want to let you know, this really lets you into the mind of Damien, this soundbite, and it's about his car.
I think everybody has something in their life that expresses them. Porsche expresses me, It says that I like sexy. I say nasty, but that sounds bad.
It's just like a Porsche, It's nasty would express me, but it's like my Porsche. He's like a Porsche.
one thing I will say is the ladies better be careful on this show, because if they say the words "God damn it," he's out.
Yeah, he doesn't like
He's
goddamn it.
done. He does
doesn't like
not like.
GG.
Do not use the Lord's name in vain on this
Yes.
show.
I forgot about that.
Keep it PG. You know, keep it as Christian as possible for all the Netflix viewers. That's what Damien wants. So,
But if you lose your butterflies, he's going to help you find them.
he
So
will
know
help
that.
butterflies. Yes, it's got his pros and his cons.
So the story of Dame Dalla Powers, Dame Dalla Powers, Damien Dollar Powers.
He raps too, right? He's got a
he loves rap music and rapping. So he got engaged to Giannini Milady Gibella. Is that how you say her name?
I believe it is. Yeah,
I believe it is. Of All Star Shore fame. She's part of MTV now, but they were engaged. Love is Blind season 1. They had a tumultuous engagement which ended with him saying no at the altar and her running away at the end.
Our first runaway bride.
Yes, but they did end up staying together, even though that the engagement didn't work out, and dating after the show. They then while they were together, had a very public hand-holding paparazzi moment with Francesca from Too Hot to Handle.
That's right.
Which seemed very probably set up by Netflix or by them for clout. It didn't seem like a real relationship. This moment then carried on over to Love is Blind season 1 after the altar, and they had a little date. Yeah, Ben has the little picture of them holding hands, wearing masks. So
it's really small.
They then had a little date that they went on after the altar, and Damien and Francesca and he was like, "I like you. You're sexy. We should drink shots together. Do you want to come to the reunion with me?" And she came to the reunion with him. And then Giannini's like, "What is she doing here?" And Francesca's like, "I didn't know you guys weren't broken up." So Damien, he's a dog. He acts like he's
a dirty dog.
He's a little dirty dog.
He's also a petty queen, is what he is.
He's a petty queen. He's a dog.
But he doesn't he's not, he's subtle about it. You know what I mean? Like he's not loud about it, but he's devious. He's a little devil is what he is.
Yeah, but he
snakes along. That's what he does.
He's also a pushover. Like I think that he let Gigi walk over him for a very long time. And then when it was time for him to be like, "You know what? I'm not going to let you walk over me anymore," he did it in like the most passive aggressive way possible.
Yeah.
Which what you're saying by being petty.
He knew all the buttons to press, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then she was just like, "You're being being such an asshole," Like she saw right through it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be.
He's not married already. I can't believe they got him for this show. It's wild.
It's gonna be very interesting with him and Francesca, both being there.
Yes. Do you think they're gonna? I mean, I feel like it's inevitable unless their history is really rocky. You would think that they'd at least chat each other up there.
Francesca has many interesting ties going on here, so I am excited when we do get to talk about her.
Yes. I think there's no doubt Francesca could be the center of this show.
Oh, she certainly will be.
Yes.
She'll definitely be one of the first people to come in, because there's going to be people that come in like later, and she's going to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that well, that's what it looked like on the show. It looked like, oh, who do you think people like who do you think is going to come in next? It seems like people aren't going to be in like all at once.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with Too Hot to Handle, where they introduced some people later.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So this is fun. We're getting to season 2, and you know who's coming in. That's Big Daddy Shane's music. By God.
Motherfucker.
It is the soundbite, the soundbite king of the century. If you don't know who he is, you've never listened to this podcast. If you don't know who he is, you're missing out. It's Shane Jensen, everybody.
There he is.
He's a sassy
honey.
Ooh, honey, little sassy.
He was probably the first person they called.
Yes. Without a doubt. It was him and then Bartise back to back, I think.
If any woman is wearing a crop top on this show, I would say that's the first person Shane's gonna go after.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
Yes, that soundbite is a woman describing herself wearing a crop top to him from the other side of a wall. That is the moaning sound.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
Yeah. If they really want to win Shane over, what they're going to have to do is actively describe what they're wearing to him, despite the fact that he can see them, despite the fact that they're right in front of him.
They're wearing like a muumuu, and they're like, I'm wearing a crop top right now.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
And he's closing his eyes and he's holding his hands over his eyes. He refuses to look, but he just keeps going, oh.
He's having sex fully naked with someone. He's like, tell me you're wearing a crop top.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
I'm so fucked.
Yes, Nicole says he will be Match Center's sassy honey every week. No doubt.
Wow, what great things. Guys, this is such a great time to talk about our Patreon. Be sure to subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/reality alerts. You can join other patrons like Nicole, because when Perfect Match premieres, we're not just covering every episode. We're going to have a bonus episode of coverage every weekend where we're going to talk about Perfect Match even more, our predictions, our coverage, awards. So patreon.com/reality alert. Hit it up. Come on. Support the pod. Let's go.
Right.
Ben, tell me about Shane.
Shane is perfect in every way, and he shouldn't change at all. And I hope he's exactly the same way he was in Love Is Blind.
Yeah,
he's a lot of fun. He loves was it Shania Twain or who does he love? No. In terms of the
Celine
music,
Dion.
Celine Dion. He's a huge Celine Dion fan. Yeah. He's great. Should have been on our podcast like 4 different times.
Netflix wouldn't let it happen, but he would have been. So Shane in the pods had this very strong emotional connection with Natalie, and this picture of him, this very strong connection with an emotional connection with Natalie, and even unnecessarily asked her to be his girlfriend, but at the same time was having pod sex with Shayna and talking about crop tops. And even the like an hour later, after asking Natalie to be his girlfriend, was still doing the same rascally stuff with Shayna. So he's a bit of a dog too.
He's a bit of a dirty dog.
He's definitely a dirty dog, but he ends up getting engaged to Natalie, and everything actually seems like it's going pretty well. They have a few small fights that we know of, but then he can't hit a baseball at Wrigley Field, and they have a major blow up.
Motherfucker.
And the wedding, Natalie calls off the wedding, but we do know these pictures. We do know that they did date after the show. Now, Ben, we recently via Instagram, there was some drama from Shane and Natalie, where Natalie revealed that they were in that while casting was going on for Perfect Match, Natalie and Shane were still dating.
Wow.
Drama. However, Shane then fired back. And Shane said, hey, she gave me her blessing and said what was best for me. And Shane showed the receipts and he showed text. How then Natalie then fired back again and said that Shane was misleading her. So we don't really know the full story.
Wild series of events.
I have to say, I think these people, they really just want their 15 minutes of fame, and who cares? I just like watching TV.
Yeah.
But Natalie says she'll be watching because they were still dating. so
I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear her weekly TikToks. You know,
but she doesn't. She's moved on. She's moved on, Ben.
She's definitely moved on.
She's moved on. She has better things to do with her life.
Right.
Yes. Zenub energy.
I was just gonna say she's probably looking for all of Shane's ex-girlfriends.
But she forgives him and she thanks him and she doesn't want him to feel bad. But she will drag him.
She will. Absolutely.
Okay, that was really fun. Season 3. Oh, this is great. This is everyone's favorite. Who do you think I'm going to talk about? Bartise, baby.
Bartise.
Let's go. Well, what's one word to describe Bartise?
Pro-life.
No, Ben. He's pro-choice, but you only get
one pass.
You get one you get one abortion.
All right.
And then that's it. So he's pro-choice once.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Pro-choice once.
Once.
Just one time.
You get one chance.
You get one chance. Don't lose yourself. Lose yourself in the moment.
In the moment. We can't keep
doing the
Yes. So I want to let you guys know I went on Bartise's LinkedIn to get some information about him.
On his LinkedIn?
This is when I started going through people's LinkedIns to find their jobs.
Let's hear their employment history. Let's do it.
So he's 27 years old. He is Bartise Bowden, CPA. He's a third connection of mine, so I'm actually pretty connected towards him, which is pretty cool. I wonder how the connections work. I need to get LinkedIn Plus so I can really connect to Bartise and see how it works out. He's a senior analyst, a financial due diligence, but I'm not going to say the company he works at. But yeah, pretty cool, guys.
Very neat.
So Bartise, he started, out being a character you might be able to root for. He was young, but he seemed maybe a little mature. And Raven was doing workouts, and she was ignoring him as he told the story about his family breaking up. And Nancy, and he turned out breaking things off with Raven and choosing Nancy. But then pretty quickly after he got with Nancy, he saw how hot Raven was, and he just starts telling Nancy to her face how hot Raven was and how
we have the photo of that up right now. He says Raven's the typical girl that I would go for in the real world.
It wasn't very nice.
Do you think the real world is going to come into play on Perfect Match?
Real world versus road rules, or
no? I mean, are they going to be stuck in the fantasy world and continually wondering if it would ever work in the real world? This was a big thing in Love Is Blind
all the fucking time. Yeah,
all the fucking time. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely going to come up because we know that Bartise and Nick Uhlenhut from The Circle season 3 are very good friends, and they both live in Austin.
Yeah.
So at least friendship.
Doesn't Bartise live in Dallas?
Yeah, but they both live in Texas.
They both live in Texas. Yeah, same thing.
you know he lives in Dallas?
Yeah, doesn't
he? Lives in Dallas?
Doesn't he? I thought he did.
I don't fucking know. Yeehaw! Let's go. No, I think he does live in Dallas. Oh yeah, because isn't that where it
he's definitely in Texas.
That's where it took place. So probably lives in Dallas. Yeah. Okay. My bad. But they hang out. Don't they hang? Aren't they friends?
We've seen some things on
They support
Instagram.
each other.
On
They-
Instagram. They comment on each other's stuff.
They're
they-
acquaintances.
they-
They at least have a social media.
I just want to say we're not stalking these guys. This is our job, okay? We're not.
For a second, I thought you were like reading comments and somebody was accusing us of stalking them,
No.
and I was like, "Where are you?"
No, this is just
Or
coming
is
off.
this
of
you
our-
feeling insecure
this is,
about
this is
about
this
what
is
we
our
do?
most recent Patreon. We did Best of Next Door, and there was just so many Karens monitoring everything going on in their.
Ben, I
cul-de-sac.
am stalking them. I went on their LinkedIn's and I went through their employment
Yeah.
history. I am stalking them.
We are actively stalking.
I'm
That's our job.
actively digging in. Ben, I found their birthdays. I'm actively stalking them.
Did you find their social security numbers, Bridget?
Yes.
That's great.
That's what I'm
Fantastic.
saving for the end of the podcast. That you have to go to Patreon to get their socials, though. So if you want their social security numbers, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/reality alert. So Bartise, apparently Nancy wanted to marry him at the end of this, despite her being pro-choice and him being fake pro-choice and him being overall not very likable to the majority of the audience.
Now, I have a question. Does he go by Bartise? Because online I've seen different pseudonyms for him. Does he go by Barftise or Barqueef?
Yeah, I've seen
Because
Barqueef a lot.
I see Barqueef a lot. I see Barftise a lot. I'm confused on what
I
his
don't know.
name
Maybe
is.
people spell check is bad.
It could be. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be.
He did appear to try to make the he did appear to try to make the relationship work, for the cameras.
Yeah.
Is that admirable?
I think it is.
I think it's really admirable. Ben.
Look, from our perspective, podcasters' perspectives, it's extremely admirable.
He's an admirable guy.
Because it keeps things alive, it keeps the drama flowing.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes. So, and I want to bring up something that Bartise said, because we're recording this. It is Tuesday, February 7th. As I'm speaking this, 2023, for any of you listening to 100 years from now or watching, it is 5:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I say this. So I read this. Per Bartise, Perfect Match was filmed March 2022.
Okay.
And After the Altar was filmed in August 2022.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
But the reunion for season 3 of Love is Blind was filmed October 2022.
Wow.
So Perfect Match was filmed before the reunion. And so was
that sounds about right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so was After the Altar.
Yes.
But I don't think that is completely true, because for some of the clips that we've seen in the commercials for After the Altar, some of the things that Raven is talking about like SK cheating on her, I don't know if that could have happened before the reunion.
Yeah, I mean, it could be they shot additional footage afterwards. But like clearly there was the Shane scene where he was talking to Shayna and she said, "What's next for you?" He said Panama. He was clearly teasing this show, Perfect Match.
No,
So yeah, they had an idea in place. That was
No.
for that was not
After
for
the
reunion, that
Altar
was
for
after-
season 3
Oh,
was shot before the reunion.
but they must have had plans then for Perfect Match because he knew he was going, right?
Perfect Match was filmed before After the Altar. Look, March 2022, Perfect Match. After the Altar season 3, August 2022.
Yes, so he had
Bartise-
already been on the show. He had already been on
Yes.
Perfect Match. Yes.
and then the reunion for Love is Blind season 3 happened in October, according to Bartise.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
That's wild. That's wild.
That is if that is actually what happened, that's a very weird order of events.
Super weird timeline. Yeah.
But I don't
Oh,
know.
what's new with Netflix reality, right?
That is
their
very
schedules
strange.
all over the place. It's crazy.
And Ben, when we get to some of these too hot to handle people, and you hear some gossip that I have, that timeline is only going to get more confusing. So stay tuned, everybody, because you're in for a bumpy ride.
The more convoluted, the better. Let's go.
Yes. Well, we have to get them
Look
to
at
keep
this.
listening.
Look at this.
So keep listening because this is going to go so long.
Look at this minister's face in this photo. I love it.
He's like, why would you marry this man? Why would you marry this guy? Look how beautiful Nancy looks. She deserves a nice man who's going to listen to her talk about pooping all the time. You know?
That's right.
Poor Nancy.
She deserves someone who's not going to look grossed out by you farting in the tub.
Dude, she farted in that tub.
It's hot in here.
What boiling hot because of all the bubbles in the tub.
Let's get to our formerly favorite show, formerly favorite show, The Circle, and talk about just a lovable guy, and I'm being seriously.
Yeah, buddy.
Joey Sasso. Hey, bro. Joey.
Broy Joey.
Winner of The Circle Season 1.
Now, why do
Joey
you think they didn't
Sasso.
have Shoe Bomb on Perfect Match? Why do you think?
Not enough muscles.
Not enough muscles? That's too bad. I feel
Not enough muscles, baby.
very sad.
So Joey, I'm actually gonna play a soundbite real quick that describes Joey.
Oh, yeah. Joey pees in the shower and Joey sends nudes.
That's Joey, everybody. He pees in the shower and he sends nudes. That's the type of guy that he is. He admitted it on The Circle. So Joey is your standard Italian kind of guy. He was kind of trying to be the Jersey Shore, but he's definitely not Pauly D. He's toned down. He's a sweetheart.
He's different. Yeah, I'd say he's more of a gentleman than that. He's, I think he gives off very good energy.
But he is a mega flirt.
He is.
And he does send nudes.
As he should be.
Yeah.
Or not that well.
Our DMs are open.
I meant for the first
to Joey.
Not for the second thing.
Hey, I said it. I'm not taking it back then. So Joey flirted with a bunch of people, but then when it came to Miranda and a contestant in The Circle, things got pretty intense emotionally, spiritually.
They got too hot to handle.
They got too hot to handle. Let me tell you guys, with Miranda, he blocked Miranda, and then he had to go. He blocked her, and then he had to go tell her that he blocked her. And he was like, "Hey, I had to block you," and she was like, "That's totally fine."
Oh,
and then
I thought you meant he blocked her like in real life on Instagram.
No. And then Ben, let me tell you, he told her that he blocked her, and then he said, "Can I kiss you?" And she said yes, and he kissed her.
Yeah, it's impressive. You got to admit,
this guy's a player for real.
Yeah.
And
did you know that
he can teach everyone a thing or two?
First of all, I just want to say probably the most famous of all of the people on this cast, mostly because he met Adele and Lady Gaga. He has a photo with both of them. So that's important to know going into this season.
Yeah. He was also on the Peacock show Girls is it Girls 5 Eva? That sounds wrong, but I think that's actually the show. Yep, he made a cameo on the 2021 musical comedy series Girls 5 Eva. And they were
very
like,
cool.
Are you Joey from The Circle? And he was like, yeah. So he's very famous. Are you bringing it up?
Yeah, this is the
no, that's Joey.
That's the image of him saying yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he kissed Miranda, and it's the only kiss we've actually ever had on The Circle. So it was pretty amazing. So people want to, Ben, do you want to know what happened with him and Miranda after the show?
Sure. I will say there is no images of him on 5 Eva. There's
That's
none.
really sad.
On Google. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is what he said to Esquire. Everybody wants to know, are you together? Are you not together? The truth is, it's kind of neither. We are in each other's lives. We are incredibly close. I love that girl to death. We have an amazing friendship that is unlike any relationship I've had with anyone else except my ex-girlfriend, who I've been best friends with since I was a child. So this means so much to me. For both of us, we just know that the love we have for each other, we know relationships can change that. She has a life in Tahoe. I have a life in LA. But we see each other all the time. We talk all the time. The love there is so genuine and real. This gives major red flags to me, Ben.
Why is that?
The ex-girlfriend that he loves so much. Now Miranda that he loves so much.
He does. I will say he talks a lot about that ex.
Yeah, that he loves so much.
Even on the circle, he talked about that ex a little bit.
I love her.
This could be an issue going into Perfect Match. Also, remember, Miranda's not his type. His type is just like Leo from Are You the One? His type
19.
is blonde.
Oh, sorry. I meant Leonardo DiCaprio. Sorry, I heard Leo. Okay.
His type is blondes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many we have on Perfect Match. I'm trying to think. Do we have any blondes on Perfect Match?
We have Carousel is blonde.
Okay. So that could be a match. Right?
Will is blonde.
Oh, he could go for Will.
Yeah, he could go for Will.
Will's got the blondest.
Will is blonde. Yep, that is about
so
it.
If anyone really likes Joey, they might want to consider dyeing
Yes.
their hair on Perfect Match. We'll see.
Yeah. So that is about it. But yeah, I don't like I don't like people that keep exes around to talk about how much love they have for each other. It is when you get married, that ex is gonna pull a Julia Roberts. It's gonna be a best friend's wedding situation, but it's not gonna be like the movies, okay? They're gonna ruin your wedding.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Gigi and Damien.
Yes, they're gonna make you sing a bad karaoke song, and the bar isn't gonna support you. They're gonna throw shit at you.
It's true. Yeah.
You're not Cameron Diaz, people. You're not. It's something you have to live with. We're not Cameron Diaz.
Everybody has to live with that every day.
I look in the mirror every day and I go, why?
Yeah.
You know?
And we're not even going to bring up Drew's name because it's like, how could we ever compare to her? Nobody.
I know, but at least, you know, at least her show got renewed for season 4, and that's just like a blessing, you know?
Yes. Yep.
So season 2, Savannah Palacio, I think it's how you say her last name. I don't really know. I don't know anything about Savannah in relation to love. She's 26 years old, I think. She's an influencer, I think. She had a feud with Teralicia on the show. She's not afraid of a fight, Ben. Teralicia. I mean, Savannah. She's not afraid of a fight.
We like. We like that.
I think she was cast to get in a fight with the other women on the show.
Could be. Let's hope.
Because
why isn't
she wasn't getting romantic
on this cast? That's what I want to know. We need Teralicia on this cast.
Yeah, why wasn't Teralicia there? Maybe she has a partner or something other or something.
Could be, yes.
But Savannah, she got in. She basically lost in the circle because she created a huge fight with another player, and they went out one after another. So that's what happened. Ben, anything else? I don't know.
You forgot to say the biggest show that she was on. It wasn't The Circle.
Oh,
it was The Floor is Lava.
I forgot.
So did you watch all the Floor is Lava season in preparation for this?
I actually have seen it. I've seen it.
I've seen her episode. I have seen her episode.
Were they on it twice or just once? They might have been on it twice. I've seen every episode of The Floor is Lava.
Really? You've seen every episode of The Floor is Lava?
Yeah, I'm a big Netflix head, Ben. So I don't know.
Wow.
When they added that giant mountain,
did you just need like some background noise or something?
Yeah, I mean it's a terrible show.
It's really
yes,
bad.
They didn't do well when they went on this. They didn't do well.
No, they did bad. Yeah. In fact, I think Savannah was the first to fall. So let me just say this. If there is a Floor's Lava competition on Perfect Match, she could be in trouble.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out.
Yes. Yeah.
All this talk of lava. I'm taking off my sweatshirt. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in my apartment.
Is it too hot to handle in here?
It's too hot to handle in here.
Okay.
So let's move on to, oh my God, this is very exciting because we are getting to, I know she was also into, she's also too hot to handle, but we're going to talk about her in regards to the circle. We're going to talk about Chloe.
Hey.
Yes. We're going to talk
America's sweetheart, or Britain's sweetheart.
Yes.
Everybody's sweetheart.
She
brings the two countries together, I think.
She brings the world together. Do you know that according to the websites that I looked on, she's only 23 years old?
There's no way she's still 23.
She's only 23. No, she's really young.
So
she's 23 now.
When she went on Too Hot to Handle,
she was like, what, 19, 20?
Jeez. Wow.
That's like MTV shit when they used to like 18-year-olds on the challenge. Yeah.
Were they all wearing diapers on Too Hot to Handle?
I don't know.
To get their rattles.
Do you remember when Lee Swift came on the podcast and he was like, Chloe's looking for love, and then he tried to set me up with her? I think he must have thought I was younger. That was cool though. Do you remember that?
Why do you bring that up every single time we podcast?
Because it's cool.
Max.
You must have thought. Do I look really young?
Stop bringing that up every time.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous that he brought it up to me. Tried to get me.
I love my wife. Okay.
Tried to set me up with Chloe. I love Maria, but he tried to set me up with Chloe. He thinks I'm Chloe's type.
This was her face.
He thinks I'm a lot like Mitchell.
This was When do we get to him?
Next. They're a package deal.
Oh, I got some good images ready to go for him.
So, you want to talk about Chloe a little bit, Ben?
Chloe, okay, so I'll be honest. When I first my first introduction to Chloe was The Circle, and then I believe a couple episodes into The Circle, maybe just into the first batch, my feelings were, oh, this just feels like a Netflix gimmick. It feels like it's a crossover promotion. They're trying to get people to watch Too Hot to Handle. They're trying to get Too Hot to Handle viewers to watch The Circle. So
is that Chloe from Too Hot to Handle?
Yes, a clip we played many times that season.
Is that Chloe from Too Hot to Handle?
So at first, I'll be honest, I kind of wrote her off. I was a little cynical about it. I was like, I don't like this too much. She totally won me over by the end.
She's the best.
She's great. She's great personality. She's really funny. She's charming. She is. She actually did, I think, play a great social game on The Circle. And from what I've seen of her on Too Hot to Handle, she was like kind of the goofy one. She joked around a lot more than a lot of the other people. I could see why they chose her of all people to come onto The Circle from Too Hot to Handle. She was one of the bigger personalities on that show. I think she'd be good on Perfect Match. She's not going to provide any like crazy drama or anything. She's not going to get into huge fights, but she's got a pleasant personality, I would say.
She's a star.
Yes.
I mean, this is what I wrote for her profession. 23 years old, influencer, TV star. When I look at her, I go, Netflix wants to put her on as many things as they can. This is why it's her third show, because she's fucking great on TV. She's so likable. She's so funny. Everyone loves her. The cross promotion did not bother me. She's so funny, but the problem was that she fell in love with Mitchell, who is he's Bad News Bears, Ben.
Bad News Bears. We're not. we're not too big of fans of Mitch's. That's for
But
sure.
she was on Too Hot to Handle before the Circle. Now, what was she like on Too Hot to Handle? You've watched it more recently.
I've watched it more
than I
recently.
have.
Yeah, Too Hot to Handle. Like I said, she's kind of the goofy one. She's the one that's making a lot of jokes, and I would say she's a little more relaxed than a lot of the contestants on this show. She's she's the fun one, you know, and sometimes she gets looked over by certain guys. But I think she attracts the people with you know, who are either love British accents or they like her goofy personality. I think those are the types of guys that she attracts.
Now, she was a rule follower on Too Hot to Handle season 1. She did try it with Bryce, Corey, and David. And I read that I had to be reminded that she kissed David through a strawberry to skirt Lana's rules.
They didn't touch lips though.
They didn't touch lips. You know, they had to skirt the rules. So she's going to be following the rules of the games. She's not going to be a rule breaker. She's not going to want to break the rules. She's a good girl.
Yes, that's
why
right.
she couldn't be with Mitchell. He's a bad boy, not in the way that we like. I'm not going to play the song for him.
In the bad way. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about Mitchell. The virgin soundbite's not working. Well, Mitchell's a virgin, so
yeah.
That's the one thing.
That soundbite's not working?
No.
Oh.
When I played, it gets X'd out. It's not working.
There's Mitchell. For anyone who needs to see this is him.
So I was doing some research on how old Mitchell is, Ben.
Yes.
And Mitchell is somewhere between 22 and 26 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we don't know for sure.
Probably 24. Let's say 24.
Okay.
He's an enigma.
Yeah. All right.
So I went on LinkedIn to find some info about him. He has 2 current jobs. The top one is he works for TV personnel at Netflix, self-employed.
Oh,
that's December
Netflix self-employed. Okay.
2020 to present.
I love the way that that's put on a resume.
TV personnel. The second one is he's a salesperson at Prudential Insurance full-time, December 2019 to present, 3 years, 3 months. So
works insurance. Okay.
Yeah, he's an insurance worker, but he's also TV personnel at Netflix, self-employed.
I see. And
So
did you know he can also cure your anxiety?
Yeah, why doesn't he list that he's a medical doctor?
He is a medical doctor. We know this. He did. This is the photo up on screen shows that he is a doctor. He does indeed have glasses. So, look, Mitchell he went through a bit of a self-help phase. He's trying
on
to
Instagram.
On Instagram, he's trying to help a lot of people out and tell them that their anxiety is all in their head and they can be cured. Every last one of them. All I have to say is Messiah, is he here to cure all of our anxieties? Is he the second coming? I don't know what's going on. You know, he's really is a miracle worker.
Well, ladies love a doctor, so I think he's going to be number one choice there. Okay, so what happened?
It's funny, my doctor, last time I saw him, he had the exact same look. He had his shirt unbuttoned and everything.
Okay, so Chloe and Mitchell, they had a fling through computers on the show, and then afterwards, and Mitchell's big thing,
years old.
Mitchell's big thing is that he's a virgin. His whole thing is that he's saving himself for marriage, allegedly.
So do we know if he's still a virgin or not?
That is apparently still his thing.
Okay.
Our little birds have told us.
Okay. Very cool. Good for him. He's trying to break Tebow's record, right? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what he's doing.
Okay.
So Chloe and him dated after the show, apparently, long distance, and then she went to visit him, and they filmed
In LA.
it.
Yeah, it was a huge thing. So on Instagram, he posted this reel with him with flowers and chocolates and a sign that said Chloe with hearts all around it. And they put music behind it, and it was this whole thing. And Netflix was sharing it. The Circle's account was sharing it. Too Hot to Handle's account was sharing it. It was a big thing. Literally 24 hours later, we got the exact same breakup post from each of them. Like within 24 hours after.
So this is why they both been cast on the show.
Yes.
So this should be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Mitchell for you. We're gonna have fun with that.
Oh yeah.
The next
our most hated contestant of any show is gonna be fun.
So season 3 we have coming up. Calvin Crooks, everybody, from the Circle.
Okay.
Season 3.
We love some Calvin.
He had his thing from the show was that I think he was a personal chef at the time of the Circle season 3. But according to LinkedIn, as of September 2022, he is a personal training manager at Equinox. So that is what he is doing now, and you can tell because he's flexing it in the picture that we're showing.
Yes,
so
he's buff. He's a buff.
Yes.
Yep.
But I can tell
nice
you,
guy. I will say, Calvin's a nice guy. He's going to be a positive presence on the show. I don't think he's going to be delivering a lot of drama necessarily, but I think he's going to be a prize on the show.
Oh, I can tell you that the ladies think Calvin is very sexy, and let me tell you this:
You're so cute, Calvin. You're so hot because you're a chef.
Calvin is a very, very attractive man.
Okay. We don't have sound bites like that for everyone, okay?
No.
Because if I did, I would play them. I don't have sound bites like that every day. So he had a bit of an entanglement or a flirtmance with Kay.
Yes, he did.
Where they were even allowed to send salacious pictures to each other. They weren't very salacious, but they were. And then they were allowed.
They didn't show full nudity, so it wasn't that salacious.
Yes.
Yeah.
When one of them was blocked, I think it was Calvin. Kay went to meet Calvin, and they had a very. You could tell that they were attracted to each other, but they just had a very mature conversation where they were like, "Yeah, maybe if we're in the same place at the same time, something would possibly work. But we are mature adults, and this is a reality show, and." It wouldn't really make sense, but we do acknowledge that we are
Meanwhile,
attracted to
the
each
producers
other.
were fuming just off camera.
Farewell, fellow attractive person. Goodbye. This would never work. Bye.
Extremely mature.
It was so mature. It didn't make any sense. Now, Ben.
Honestly, Calvin is just a real normal nice guy. It makes you wonder what he's doing on a show like this. Maybe we'll see some drama. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, now Ben, I one of our little birdies did tell us that Kay was contacted.
You've got a lot of birdies out there. Is it because is Brooklyn a big bird haven?
I got a lot of birds in my backyard. I was seeing some blue jays today.
No, really?
Yeah, lots of
I have
blue
blue
jays
jays just outside my place too. They're awesome.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're cool.
So Kay was actually approached to be on this show.
Really?
Yes.
She said no.
She said no.
I'm sad for this.
As well as Jackie Jing from The Circle season 3.
No.
She said no. Yes.
She probably found out there were no gamers there.
Yeah, there. She was told she couldn't bring her PS5. So
that's too bad.
That's too bad. Yeah. So yes, I bet they were hoping they could bring Calvin and Kay and reignite things, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah. And Kay, I think Kay was probably thinking going into this, how am I going to spin my dad's an FBI agent thing? Am I going to be like hunting and searching for my perfect match? How am I going to express that on the show? So,
yes. Yeah. I do want to bring up that Calvin always started chats first on The Circle. So watch him to always start every conversation. He will never be approached.
That's good though. Take the initiative.
He will be initiated, but not. I don't think it will even be, like romantic chats. I think friendly chats. He'll always be. He will not be approached
about the weather and
all that stuff.
Do you think he's probably a middle at a dinner party, right? He's probably a
middle. Yes, definitely. He's a middle. Yeah.
Okay.
When you said middle, I was like in threesomes or
no. Dinner parties.
Okay. Well, get ready for another soundbite king, everybody.
Winky.
Nick Uhlenhoot is back, everybody. Wow. This guy, he's 29 years old. And according to his LinkedIn, but I didn't need to look at this one, he's a senior product manager at Shoot 360, everybody. And he is a goofy son of a gun, everybody. The man from MIT, the hunk himself, the goof trooper, Nicky Uhlenhoot, everybody.
Yes. Do you think his alter ego Vince will come out at any point?
I hope so. His alter ego will come out. So if you remember Nick, he did make it to the finals of The Circle season 3. He lost. So did Calvin. And
big player though. He was a big player.
Yes. So did everybody that we've talked about besides Joey, by the way. They're all losers. But he was a big player. He most infamously, romantically, he flirted with Rachel, aka Jackson, who they dated very long term after the show, for years actually. Isn't that right, Ben? They dated, very seriously.
For years and years.
Children.
They were engaged. They had kids.
Yeah, all that stuff. No, they didn't. People thought they did, but did they kiss? Probably. Yeah, they probably kissed.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know. We actually don't really know what happened, but nothing serious.
They don't really tell us anything.
But they had the hots for each other, at least. They were attracted to each other. We do know that post filming of this show, Nick has it's a picture of us with look at we're babies.
Found on Google. Yeah.
Aw. On Google, it's a picture of us. Wow.
Yeah.
Of us infamously Nick was spotted this New Year's Eve with Katie Thurston, who was recently a bachelorette on the show The Bachelorette on ABC.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I do not know.
You don't think he found his perfect match?
I don't know if Nick found his perfect match. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's out there. So I don't know. But I don't know if we've seen him regularly with Katie Thurston yet, but he was spotted with her.
Now, we also know that he's tight with everyone on The Circle. We don't know necessarily season 1, but we do know he's tight with Shane. They're buddies. We've seen things on Instagram that would indicate this. Despite even their little tiffs that we've seen in teaser trailers for Perfect Match, it does seem like they're buddies. So there is that. And I think Nick might know Abby from 20-somethings Austin as well, since he lives in Austin.
But they live in the same place.
Yeah, I think he has hung out with those 20-somethings Austin people as well. So there's that connection.
I think he's a goofy guy. I think he'll be fun. He's going to be great with sound bites. He's good TV. He brings it, Yeah. He's going to be good. And finally, our final Circle person Inez Tazi from the Circle France.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I have not seen yet.
Yes. So Inez, she is 26 years old. This is what she said. She creates beauty products and likes makeup, but she's not like the other girls, Ben. She loves
It's a little
boxing,
different.
soccer, and beer.
Wow.
Can you believe it? She likes makeup and beer.
She's a real Parvati Shallow. Remember, Parvati was a boxer too.
Yes.
Right?
When she was on the Circle, she was in a relationship, but she played as single, but she didn't really flirt that much. She was strategic on the Circle. She was a very strategic player, but she lost when there were still 8 people left in the Circle. So she didn't really do that well. There were kind of like 2 sides going on, and one side pretty much won out. She kind of outed herself as a strategist too early.
I see. Okay.
I would say is
Gotcha.
kind of what happened. She did like a little bit of flirting, but not really. It's kind of hard to get. I wouldn't say we got too much of her. She did seem really cool. She seemed really likable. She was an influencer a couple of times, so she was likable. She just really wasn't able to pull it off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't really say too much about her. She says, this is one thing that stood out to me. At one point, she said that she didn't like being an influencer and kicking people out of the Circle. So when it comes time for her to like wield any power in the game or having to like eliminate people from the show, that might be difficult for her. She might not like it, but she'll do it, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes. Now, is there any sort of what do we know about like her English speaking? Is there going to be any language barriers happening or anything?
I assume I think it's very good because I think sometimes she would say things in English.
And also, it's assumed that Europeans speak English as well.
I believe she's at least trilingual because I know she knows Arabic as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the times on the Circle, some of the people would just would just say certain phrases randomly in English, and then it was
on
cool.
Circle France.
Yeah, but very randomly. They spoke mostly in English, and then it'd be cool because certain things like they would still use WTF. Like
I see.
Would be,
yeah,
but they would say what the fuck. Like certain things they would still say in English, like hashtag.
Sure.
They still use. They would say like hashtag, like stuff like that. So it's
Gotcha.
interesting. But I did like her. She seems cool. It's just kind of hard to talk about in the context of like what's going to be going on. You know, I don't think this show's going to be super strategic. But yeah, she's a strategist, but she wasn't that good. But she also wasn't in the best alliance. So I don't know.
I mean, let's be real here. Do we really care about strategy and perfect match, or do we just?
Well, no.
We just
I'm just grasping at straws about what to tell you about her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? We've only seen her. You have only seen her in one light. We're going to see her in another light now. Maybe she's going to shine bright in this show. I'm optimistic. Let's do it.
I'll say she was a very good sport.
That's good. Yeah.
Because
or is it good or is it bad?
There was one person on the Circle of France who was not a good sport, and it was awesome. But yeah, she's a good sport. So
see, I don't know. Then that might be bad. We want,
I know we want bad
Betty
sports.
Queens. Yeah, we want bad sports.
Exactly. But like sometimes it's sometimes the really good strat. You get it. All right. Anyway, let's get into Too Hot to Handle. Okay. So let's get
too hot to handle
into Francesca Farrago. You say Farrago, I say Farrago, Ben. Okay, so get off my back.
Let's
she's about 30 years old. That's what Google told me when it popped up. It's Google told me about 30 years old. Okay. She is an influencer for sure. Okay, so don't tell me she's anything else. I didn't even go to LinkedIn. It would have told me influencer.
Yes.
She is the first person to ever break the rules on Too Hot to Handle. Okay. And for that, That's iconic. That is history.
And
That's
she,
gonna go
as
into
she said on the
Smithsonian.
show, she does not care about any prize money that could be won on Too Hot to Handle, because she already makes a ton of money through Instagram.
Yeah, okay. She
So
doesn't
that's
need
important to
that.
remember going into this. And is there cash prizes in Perfect Match?
I think because you can win Perfect Match, so probably
Yeah. So there you go.
yes.
It's not about the money for her.
Yeah, because people keep getting eliminated. So
I see. Yeah.
yeah. So she infamously got very close with Harry Jowsey. They were a bunch of rule breakers, and they cost everybody a bunch of money until they won the money back. And she dated him for a while after the show.
Did she really? Wow.
Until they broke up. Yes, Harry and her are both very famous after the show. Netflix always Harry, I don't think has appeared on another show, but they always put him in like different promotional things.
I see.
And then we already explained what happened with Damien. She also, I'm not sure who else she has dated besides she dated The Only Way Is Essex stars Demi Sims was a woman that she dated. I guess that's a British show. And she also had, like, you know how she was spotted holding hands with Damien? She was also spotted holding hands with, we've talked about this person before, Tana Mongeau. That was the YouTuber who dated Brett from The Circle season 5.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Who had the fake marriage to Jake Paul.
Right. Yes.
Who is having a baby with Julia from Are You the One season 4.
Oh my God.
Thank God you have me, Ben. You know, what would you do without me?
My goodness, all over the place. Woo.
She's just up with, you know, Tana is just connected to the reality star people, you know, all these YouTubers.
All over. My goodness.
So, yes. So, I am interested because we do have at least a couple of the women are bisexual on the cast. I wonder how this will factor into, will there be same-sex couples?
Yes, will their perfect match be same sex? That could come into play. Yeah. That would be great if it did.
Yeah, I wonder if that will be allowed by Netflix.
I hope so. There was a season of Are You the One where
they're all sexually fluid.
They're all sexually fluid. There were non-binary people on there, and it was just like the best. It was a great season. I would love to see Netflix doing more of that. We do know that there is an ultimatum season coming up that's like that. So
so hopefully
look forward to.
It should at least be permissible.
Yes.
I mean, I don't see who can stop it, but you know.
Yeah, I hope so. No, that'd be great.
Yeah. She's definitely a rule breaker. She definitely is willing to get her hands dirty with breaking the rules and not giving a shit about stuff. And she is here to cause TV excitement. So definitely good casting.
She's going to be, I just think she's going to be, as I said earlier, one of the biggest characters. So.
Yeah, her and Damien are going to have that connection. And once again, pretty soon, you're going to find out another connection coming up soon. So get ready, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Not here yet.
Oh, boy. You're exciting me, though.
Okay.
Exciting. Season
2, we have Chase Demore from Too Hot to Handle season 2. He's a 26-year-old. Well, when he was on the show, he said he was a professional football player in the Canadian Football League.
Okay.
But also now, according to Instagram, he's a pro boxer.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't look into that, but he was telling some of the women not from America that he was a professional football player in the U.S. on the show. Which I was like, it's not true. Anyway.
He sounds like that guy from Temptation Island that was lying about being a NFL analyst or something.
Oh yeah, that guy was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says when he enters the Too Hot to Handle, he was one of the original people. He said he has a high sex drive, calls himself the alpha male. He's very cocky. He's 6'5", and all the women they notice he has very big feet. Now, all this you might think, this guy is going to be very compelling, but he was pretty much a background character, and I didn't find him super interesting, Ben. He was not. Yeah, these pictures are kind of telling.
So why did Netflix bring him?
He has a good amount of followers on social media. He wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't
Netflix
really,
is always chasing those Instagram followers. I tell you,
he wasn't really like a main. He wasn't really one of the main characters of the season. I mean, some of them are
But
like
you know what?
we're still
This may
together.
be-
One of them is a host. So I don't know.
Maybe this is his time.
Yeah, this
Might
that's
just
good.
be his time.
He's pointing a watch in the picture, but Ben's making a joke. So let me break down what happened on the season because it could inform what's going to happen to him in the future. Because people don't change, Ben.
No, never.
So there's this immediate connection between him and Carly. They're the second people to kiss and break the rules, and they're very quickly connected. And they're together for a while, but then they have a small disagreement where she's like, you don't open up to me enough, and I don't feel good about myself when I'm with you, and I wish you would compliment me more. And then he's like, yeah, this is never gonna work, and he just breaks up with her. Just because she might want to communicate with him more. So he ends things with her because she wants a little more from him.
So he might have a little bit of trouble finding his perfect match, I think, on this show.
Yes. And then when two new women show up right that day, like an hour later, and they're like, people are like, are you interested in them? He's like, I'm just emotionally broken. But then later that night, he shares a bed with one of them. And then he turns out getting really close with one of them. And at the end of the show, he tells one of them that he wants them to be his girlfriend, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think about you that way. I was just hooking up with you."
All right, I'm kind of excited for him now. You've got
so he's just kind of but he's not like he was just such a side character to me. Like he wasn't one of like the main things going on. It was just kind of watching him, like occasionally it would cut to him like fumbling through something, but it wasn't like super engaging.
Well, maybe it's his time.
Yes.
Now on this show.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But he was not a top 3 finalist because they changed the rules in the later seasons, and he did not win any money. So maybe he's trying to change that this time.
Yes.
Oh, clocks!
This might
wow.
be his time. Yes.
Let's go to season 3 of Too Hot to Handle. We have Izzy Fairthorn from Too Hot to Handle season 3. She's 23. She's a personal trainer. Ben, I love these two girls from Too Hot to Handle season 3, Izzy and Georgia. They are bad girls.
Both on this season?
Yes, they are bad girls, Ben. They are naughty. They are great. So Izzy is 23. She's a personal trainer. She says she's a private school girl who got with at least half the rugby team and some cricketers too.
And some cricketers too. So cricketers, does that mean she's from London? Or is she British?
She's one of them. She's one of the things. I forget. Yeah, I think so. She says she usually ends things by text. She was the first person to be kissed on the show. So this is great. Right when the rules are put into effect, it's kind of similar to Francesca. Her and Georgia get together and they're like, these rules are lame. We just want to like cause havoc. And they decide to kiss each other to break the rules, just to like break the ice. Yeah, so they don't care about rules, Ben. She gets in a love triangle. She one night she makes out with this guy at the beach in bed, and then she did some sexual act that they actually bleeped out them talking about it, and she cost the house $22,000 in one night.
$22,000
in one night.
So did they have sex then, or what is sex? 30,000.
It said that it's something about rubbing something. But usually if it's a hand job, they'll say it's a hand job. Something about rubbing something against something. But it wasn't sex. They'll say if it was sex.
Okay. Interesting.
They bleeped it.
Wow.
They don't bleep things.
What could it be?
I don't know.
What did they do?
I don't know.
Do you think they touched butts?
I think they rubbed their butts against each other.
You think they rubbed their
They
butts
did butt
against-
rubbing. So Georgia is 26. Apparently, at one point, she was a student midwife. I don't know what she's doing now. She says she's extremely sexual, and that's why guys get super in love with her. She says she loves bad boys and narcissists are her type. And Ben, when she gets there, there's immediately 3 guys in love with her, saying she's the most beautiful girl they've ever seen, and they're all fighting over her, drooling over her. They need their Georgia.
So
they
will
need her.
Get the same treatment on Perfect Match? That's the question.
I hope so. If she brings that puppy with her in this picture,
yeah, then she's gonna get every guy over there.
Yeah.
Not only is there's gonna be rubbing of bellies. They're gonna be rubbing the dog's belly.
Basically, what happens with her is whenever a guy gets attracted, whenever she finally lets a guy in, they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so into you. You're the most amazing woman. Like, I want it to just be us, and you're gonna be my only girl, you know." And then she's like, "Yeah, this is too much. Like, I'm not into you." And then she friend zones them. She's like, "I don't want to do this anymore." And then the guy is like heartbroken. So
she's actually kind of similar to Chloe in that way, because Chloe in season 1 of Too Hot to Handle also sort of pushed people away once they started getting much more serious about her.
yes, but then at the end, she had growth, and she realized that she should have been even more honest towards them.
Yes,
she was a top 3 finalist, but she was 3rd, and she didn't win any money.
Yeah.
Now, do you want the tea, Ben?
Let's do it.
She dated Harry Jowsey, Francesca's ex.
Oh my god!
Yes, I actually just learned this today. I feel like I should have known this. So,
wow.
Harry's headache. This is from The Sun. Too Hot to Handle star Harry Jowsey gives heartbreaking update on relationship with on-off girlfriend Georgia Hazarati. So apparently they dated throughout last year, but they broke. But this article came out in November 16th, 2022 is when they break up, but they were dating all last year. But we learned from Bartise that this was filmed March 2022. So were they dating when this was filming?
They could be.
They could have been.
Oh man, that's saucy. That's so spicy.
That is saucy.
Whoa. I love that. Good job, Netflix. This is actually some really good casting this season.
You were going to say good job me for getting the tea, but okay, Netflix. Come on.
It's your job.
Come on.
Good job, Max.
Thank you. You know what? I don't need you to tell me that. You know what? Because I have my friend Nick.
Max had a great comment.
Thank you, Nick.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You don't need me.
Yeah, that isn't that great. That is so good.
Look at this photo.
Yeah, there they are. Apparently, they
So-
did a lot of TikTok content together. Like their relationship was all over social media.
Looks like they have a sweats brand too that they're modeling here. Yeah.
I wonder if they're actually still together, but they had to like pretend not to be together because the show is coming out.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
The timeline is interesting. The timeline is what's really wild about all this.
I know.
We're gonna. Knowing Netflix, I don't think we're gonna get the details on it. We're gonna have to get those from people in interviews, probably.
That other people are gonna do.
What other people do because Netflix PR
that Nick Viall is gonna fucking do. Fuck him. Love you, Nick. Just kidding. Fuck you, Nick. Okay. What are we on now? So we just did Georgia, and oh my god, we are now on to Abby Humphreys from 20-somethings Austin. Guys, I had heard about the show, but I didn't hear enough about it. This show, people, it is cute. It is endearing.
It's fantastic.
But it's fantastic. I
love this show.
A bunch of virgins moving to Austin and kissing people for the first time. And then you have Abby, and Abby she's 25 on the show. She's recently divorced after being married for 5 years.
It's weird to me to think that she's older than Chloe. That's just a bizarre thought for me.
Yeah, she was married for 5 years, and she is everyone else is a lot more innocent than Abby, but Abby is a mess, and we love her for it. She's a messy queen,
but an endearing mess, I should say.
Yes, but she a mess.
She is a mess. Yes, she has trouble. She has trouble getting out of relationships and letting go. Let's say that. That's, I think, one of the best ways to put it.
And she's a very aggressive flirt.
Extremely, yes. She will be flirting harder than most people out there. Her and Nick Uhlenhoot probably get along pretty well with how much they both flirt.
Yes.
Yes.
But once you flirt with Abby, you'll be locked with her the entire time you're there. And if you try to flirt for life, if you try to flirt with somebody else, she's gonna say, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Yeah. But
then
she'll backtrack a little. Because she is somewhat self-aware, right? We can agree on that. Like, she does later say in like confessionals, she'll say things like, you know what? I know sometimes I can be a little too much with stuff like this, and I have to hold myself back. And she's like, but she doesn't. Well, it's also because, sometimes the situation will be like, I just want to at least tell him that's not cool. Don't do that. That's not cool. It'll be in situations like that.
Yeah. So let's break down what happened on 20 Somethings Austin, because it will inform kind of what we're talking about. So she and her housemate Kamari hooked up, and she talks about him and says, "Hey, I want to be in a friends with benefits situation with you, and just so you know, I don't want to be in a relationship. I just got out of a marriage, so I'm totally cool with a friends with benefits situation, because why would I want to be in a relationship with you?"
Right.
So one night at a bar, they are out, and he starts talking to someone else. And she sees him talking to someone else, and she is very upset that this is happening. Even him just talking to someone else. And so to attempt to, catch his attention, she does a sexy bull ride, which is an amazing scene.
Yeah. Every time she sees him making out with someone or doing anything with someone else, he can always expect a late night text to meet out back by the pool.
Yes,
that's the other thing.
Despite the sexy bull ride, he does end out making out with this person at the bar. Yes. And Abby is like, "This isn't cool. Like, even though we're friends with benefits, like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you should know, And he's like, "Oh," and he's very apologetic about it, So that happens. Then she ends up breaking that up, but then she ends up kind of hooking up with this guy that she told her friend she wouldn't with, because her friend was interested in the guy. She has to apologize for that. Then the guy who she used to be with, that she used to be friends with benefits, hooks up with someone, and she can hear it. And she's upset about that, and he has to apologize for that, even though she ended the relationship. She's just kind of, mess. She's a little messy, Ben. She's a little, she's, and he's really not. He's not. He really. He doesn't have disregard for her feelings. I feel like. I feel like he is listening to her.
No, I don't think there's a single cast member on this show that has disregard for anybody else's feelings.
I know.
They're all very empathetic and sweet people.
I know.
Included. Yeah.
I'm like, I think he's just doing exactly what you. And then he's like, "But you were just trying to hook up with Adam right in front of me. Like, why can't I do this?"
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So I am very
She gets caught up in her feels a lot when it comes to some of these guys that she hooks up with. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and she does talk to her friend when she kind of hooks up, when she starts flirting with the guy that her friend wanted to go after, Natalie, and she says, you know, a problem that I have is validation from men, and it's a real issue, and I want to get help, you know, because I don't want to be this way anymore.
So Netflix
And
got her help by
putting her on
casting
Perfect
her
Match,
on Perfect Match.
pretty close to when she filmed that. You know, it's really good. But she also goes on her first ever date with a woman. So this is another thing where I'm like, oh, so you know, could we have another same-sex perfect match? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Yes. Yep.
But overall, I'm excited to see her on the show.
Yeah, she definitely, on 20 Somethings Austin, she had a lack of experience with women and was wanting to push herself to actually go out on dates with women more often. So maybe she'll be pushing herself on Perfect Match as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get over to Selling Tampa, Ben, which we both watched.
We did.
It
really
is
boring show.
That's a boring show. They need to bring the drama. It's not like Selling Sunset where you get some big characters. It's pretty boring. Very fake, very boring. But I think Anne Sophie Petit Frere and Colony Reeves,
they were the two biggest personalities on Selling Tampa.
Besides Sherelle, but she couldn't have been on the show.
No.
But she would have been good.
If she left her husband and kids. And
Shadow Chosenko,
yeah.
So if you haven't seen Selling Sunset, the premise is that
Tampa, you mean?
Sorry, Selling Tampa is that they all work at Allure, which is an all-female, all-minority firm that sells luxury houses. They sell mansions in the Tampa Bay area. And so, you know, Anne and Colony are basically the two top agents there. And I don't know why they're going on this show, because according to some articles I've read, they both have like $500,000 net worths, and they do really well selling these houses. And also on the show, they just seem like really well-adjusted people. And I'm like, what are you doing in reality TV?
They're talked about as top earners too. So they are like the best realtors at the brokerage. So yeah, and you're right. They're very normal. You know, they're not messy at all. We don't actually get to see them dating anyone on this show on Selling Tampa. We don't see a single date for them.
They wouldn't. Like they try to create this thing where Colony like might date this fake guy Cho, who's a fake client, but she wouldn't actually even have the image of dating a client, because that would ruin her professional image, you know?
Yes. Yes.
From this article that I found, most of them are top producers. Anne and Colony, even Sherelle, are all heavy hitters and have sold 20 plus homes in a year when the average agent sells 4 homes. It all checks out. Anne has a net worth of $700,000 and Reeves $600,000. Like, that's like a lot of money. I'm just kind of like, you stay away from these men on this show. You find you a better man, you know? Don't.
Do you think to a certain degree though it helps business with you know, their brokerage?
No,
it's got to, right?
Do you know what my other idea is? They are smarter and better than me, and they know what they're doing. So, you know,
yeah.
I'm sure they know what they're doing. I'm not really telling them what to do, Ben. I know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I'm sure they know what's best.
So we have Anne Sophie on the screen. I'm going to get Colony up as well, so that everyone can see what they look like.
I will say, to describe each of them individually, Anne, she doesn't like to be told what to do, and she will she'll even like talk back to the boss more. When
she's a good personality, she is. Yeah.
Yes. When approached to join, when one of the firm members wants to create a rival firm, Colony and Anne are approached. Anne wants to leave. Colony does not, because Colony is very loyal. So what happens with that is that it kind of gets out and they have a meeting with their boss. And Colony is so loyal to their boss that she throws Anne under the bus. And Colony is so loyal, she starts snitching on Anne and is like, Anne, you were thinking about leaving the firm and betraying our boss. Like, how could you do that in front of their boss? So I will say that even though they made up the next day, which didn't make for very good TV, that Colony's a snitch. So
I will say they're all so normal and nice.
And tattletales. She's a tattletale.
But every tattletale, every argument, it gets resolved very quickly.
Yeah, it was like, why is this a show?
It's every single time there's beef with, like there was a woman trying to start a coup, and start her own brokerage, and before long, after a few episodes, she sat down with the boss and they apologized to each other. The coup was over. It's done.
Yeah. Because it was fake.
It's how the show goes.
The whole show is fake. I was like, if it's fake, can't you guys pretend?
Yeah.
I will say, I did some looking up. Colony has her own firm now. It's like,
no kidding. Really?
Yeah, it's like she's the one with her own firm. Now Anne is at a different firm, but I don't know if that's her own firm. But Colony has like Colony Reeves firm or whatever. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wow.
Like, I'm sure they know I'm sure I know what they're doing, but I was just like, why are they going on this show? It's so funny.
That's really interesting.
Anyway, they could do better than any of these people.
I have, despite the fact that they came across as very very normal, nice and grounded on Selling Tampa, I'm hoping that they'll provide some drama on Perfect Match. I think they could bring it.
Anyway, some of these men, they are great guys, but I was just really impressed by their professionalism, and I was just like, it's just so funny imagining them like
with some of these jokers on the cast.
Yeah, with some of these jokers, and we've just seen men on dating shows that I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's how it should be.
I'm like, you're successful, stay away.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Here we go. Carousel Snow, Sexy Beats. Now, Ben, I was like, I need a refresher on this episode, but I remember this episode very well when I watched it last night. And it was the first ever episode of Sexy Beasts, I think. She was the panda on Sexy Beasts. And she was also on Are You the One season 8. It was the sexually fluid season. She went by Carrie when she was on that show. Her final match was Max. Max was a guy who was with Justin. And they were like in love and they were like going to be together, but then they were sent to the truth booth and they weren't going to be together, but then he turned up being with Carrie, whatever.
Now, will she be going as the panda?
She has to go as the panda.
Okay, good. This is a terrifying photo, by the way. I'm going to have this in my nightmares.
Yes.
Tonight. Yeah.
I will let you know, in 2020, she entered and won the Miss New Jersey United States pageant. So she's Miss New Jersey USA.
So you especially are invested in this.
I'm rooting for her.
Okay.
Although her personality is very grating.
Okay.
It's very grating.
What? She doesn't like disco fries.
She doesn't.
She doesn't watch Sopranos.
So she on Sexy Bee, she said her job is party motivator, and yes, you heard that right.
Okay.
I don't know. So she says we're all super shallow, and that's a problem of hers. She said she went on Sexy Beast because she went to a psychic who said that when she was 24, she was going to meet the love of her life overseas, and Sexy Beast is filmed in England. But she didn't meet the love of her life, obviously.
It must have been a different show,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Perfect Match, probably.
Yes, that's
because
true.
The psychics are never wrong. So
yes. But she says that the person that she meets has to be fun and goofy. So could be Nick Uhlenhoot. Could be Joey
Shane.
Sasso. Who'd you say?
Shane.
Could be Shane. That's true. Could be Will from The Mole. Very fun.
It's not Damien.
Could sure it's not Will from the Mole. He's so much fun. Very goofy guy.
He's a fun guy. Sure.
So let me break this down real quick. During this, so there's like 2 sections of the thing on Sexy Beast. You meet 3 people, and there's like a speed dating round, and then you eliminate one of them, and then you go on dates with the remaining 2 people, and then you eliminate one of them, and then you have a person, and you're disguised as animals, so you don't know what they look like. So during the speed date round, she says her friends would describe her as, "I can't believe she did that, girl, Sour Patch Kid, lunatic, crazy, and psychopath."
That's what we love to hear.
When asked why her friends would describe her that way, she says, "You haven't seen my Google history yet." She says she is trying to get knocked up tomorrow. She loves hot nerds, that family is important to her, and she doesn't like X's and hoes.
Because of X's and O's.
Oh,
And
I just got. Oh, yes.
That's very impressive.
So the part of the reason why this stood out to me was because when she eliminates the Tin Man, after the speed dating round, he celebrated, which was the only time anybody on the show ever celebrated being eliminated. And he celebrated because he was like, why would I want to spend time with someone whose friends calls them a psycho?
Wow.
Because I don't spend time with anyone like that.
I
gotta give it.
Wait to watch this episode.
I was like, I gotta give it to him. That kind of makes sense. And also, she's
fun.
like really does not stop talking and is just really kind of like.
Okay,
she's
so
a little.
She's gonna be a great personality on this.
She's
show.
a little much. She's really good TV. She's gonna be.
I'm really excited. Yeah,
she's gonna be good. She's.
Do we have an episode number for our listeners? That
It's the first episode of Sexy Beast.
First episodes of Sexy.
And it's also she's Carousel the Panda is also the name of it.
Okay. There you go.
So she has a natural connection with the alien at their axe throwing date because he tells a lot of dad jokes. Are any of these people known for telling dad jokes?
Who? I can't see it from any. Maybe Damien.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's the most dad-like of that group.
I don't know. She
There's Daddy Nick, but I don't think he tells those.
No, it's Daddy Shane. Oh, they're both daddies.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, she ends up crying at the end because she said she's found love, but she's also leaving with a broken heart when she says goodbye to the guy who was playing the ox. So she's a little emotional too.
It's so sad.
I know. I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, the panda.
What a psycho! What?
The panda broke up with the ox. That's fucking.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought in my head? I was like, I can't believe she just did that, girl. That Sour Patch Kid. That lunatic, crazy psychopath. That's what I was thinking. All right. Next, we're gonna get into the mole.
What's the goal? Complete the mission. Find the mole. Who the mole? I don't know. If I don't know, I'm going home.
Dom Gabriel, everybody. What did he call himself? Dom Cruise?
Dom Cruise. Yep.
Yeah.
Wasn't he first out?
He was no, he was like second out or something.
Are you sure? I thought he was first. Maybe I'm wrong.
He was one of the first out.
Here's his mole stats up on the screen.
Oh, he spontaneously competed in his first Spartan race and placed in the top 20. I don't believe that. He took dance classes in high school so he could be surrounded by girls. I do believe that.
I believe that.
Yes.
This is almost like MTV's Next.
Yeah.
One time ate a live frog. That's what.
This is good. He's 29. I think he's 30 now, and he's a heavy machine operator. That's good. That's funny because I'm on this website called celebs.filmifeed.com for this, and it says Dominique Gabriel, aka Dom Gabriel, is a Canadian musician, singer, writer, and internet celebrity who is one of the members of the band Don't Call. He's extremely popular on TikTok under the username Don't Call Dom, where he uploads reactions, comedy, and lip syncing videos.
Very fun.
And you're telling me he's a heavy machine operator? I don't think so.
You know what, though? I will say he was someone that I felt like I wanted to see more of on The Mole. He was a big personality. He was funny. I think he'll be great on the show. I'm excited to see more of him.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way. I was so whatever about this guy.
You didn't care for him? I just thought he went too soon. I really did. I thought this guy's got a big personality. I'd be interested to see what else he's got to show.
I just didn't really get it. He was just
You think he was too extra?
I didn't think he was too extra. I just he didn't do anything that super like interested me besides just going around and being like, yo, I'm Dom Cruise. I did like when he called himself Double Down Dom and got into like gambling for no reason. That was really funny.
Yeah.
I liked that, but just like some of the self-branding stuff didn't really work for me all the time.
Yeah.
I did like
weird how he kept going double or nothing, and people would say, "What do you mean double or nothing?"
Yeah, that was
Let's
good.
go double or nothing. I think he's got a gamble. He's got a gambling.
Gambling still. I love Gambling Addict, so that was really good. It was funny when he got eliminated on The Mole. Everybody was like crying, and when Alex Wagner walked him up, she was like, "Take your time. This is hard for you, and it's going to be really hard for all of us. And your mom's going to be so proud of you." And he was like the second person knocked off, and I was like, "Are they really? Is it really going to be this hard for them?" Like
they both made a really strong connection with him
for 2 days. So maybe he's that kind of guy. Well, it didn't work on me. I'm not fooled.
Whoa. You know, I'm open to Dom. I am.
I think he was the actual mole. And then they had to switch it.
Yeah, that's right.
He accidentally left.
They figured it out on the second episode.
And then they were like, shit.
They had to find somebody else.
Yeah, that's what happened. I figured it out. Double Down Dom, everybody.
You call me Double Down Dom.
What's your
Double Down. Yeah, he is goofy. I'm coming around. You're right. I shouldn't be so hard.
Should we talk Will?
Yes.
This mission can be best described as a trash can fire that was then thrown into a dumpster fire and then into a forest fire. It is an absolute disaster.
That's about Will's description of everything. He's very serious, and he's also the winner of The Mole.
He's a Vegas local, too.
Yeah, 30-year-old lifestyle brand manager Will Richardson, everybody, winner of The Mole.
Yes, Will was the only one who could see what everybody else at home was seeing, which was an obvious mole. And he got it right. He won the game. Very, very physical guy. I don't know what kind of challenges are going to be on Perfect Match, but he's a mountain climber. He's all sorts of physicality in the challenges. So who knows, if they have challenges on Perfect Match similar to TJ's final on the challenge, then I think he's going to do good. I think he's going to be could win the $1 million.
Yeah, do you think there'll be a final? They're doing a 100-hour final in the challenge this season. Do you think they'll have to one up it for a Perfect Match?
They really doing 100?
Yeah, somebody already had to be evacuated because they hit themselves in the face with the slingshot. So
that's insane.
Really safe.
No, I mean Will's all right. He's kind of he's a fun personality. What do you have to say about
his personality? Is fun to watch, but he doesn't have a fun personality. He is so serious.
How would you describe him?
He is just an overly serious person. Like I would not really want to hang out with him. Would you want to hang out with him?
He seems all right. I don't know.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Genius idea, guys. That's not even mole behavior. That's purely idiotic behavior. I'm gonna throw up.
Everything he said on the show was just like, "You guys are idiots. Let me take care of this. Like, I'm the only smart person in the room. You guys are fucking stupid."
He'd be great on Are You the One?
Yeah, it's like, let me do the pairs for tonight, guys. And everybody be like, let's pick with our hearts. Like, he's so serious, and he has to be.
He is, but the competitiveness is something. He's going to find his perfect match, and he's going to stay. He's going to try and stay in charge.
Yeah, no, I like him on TV. I'm just saying, I don't like being around people that need to be in control of the room at all times. Or be in control of every situation, because I'm not particularly like a rule follower at all times. Like I don't want to have to follow in line with what he does. I'm a bit of a rebel, then kind of a cool guy.
Very cool. You're like
Very
Dom
cool.
Cruise. That's
I'm Dom Cruise duel. I'm double down Dom.
You call me double down Dom.
What's your
No, I was actually pleasantly surprised that they were having people from the mole on this show. I didn't expect to see any competition show people on a show like this. So I think that's fun. Should be interesting. Yeah, maybe that's good for the mole. Maybe that means we could get another season of the mole. I don't know.
Fingers crossed for new selling Tampa. Fingers crossed.
For new 20-somethings Austin, I'd like that. I'd like
or 20s something, Sheboygan, something like that.
Yeah, Sheboygan would be great.
And that takes us
Tulsa. Yeah.
As we are about to enter hour 2. I really thought this was go longer. We are going into our final contestant, Ben.
Great, because I got to leave soon. So
okay, so I'll go real slow. Zay Wilson from The Ultimatum.
Okay.
If you remember Zay, he entered with Ray. It seemed good. I believe Ray was like, Zay won't ever leave me because I clean and I fuck him good. Was she the one that said that?
She did, and then she was the one who started to leave him, basically.
Yes.
She really fell for that other guy. I forget what his name is.
Jake.
Jake, that's right.
Yes. So she hit up things with Jake, who was with April. So it resulted in I'm just reading from this article, in an awkward conversation between her and Zay when they reunited, and when she explained that she didn't want to be engaged, Zay stormed out and he didn't return all night. Do you remember that? Zay is not great at communicating. He's really bad at it and expressing his emotions. And then when he came back from being out all night, I think Ray hit him. And that was when things really went down. And then when
I think this was one of the uglier relationships. That sort of not ugly and that they're ugly. I'm saying like it was the way it went down was pretty bad.
Zay also, when he was separated from Ray, he didn't sleep with, he hooked up with Shanique.
Yes.
And
they didn't, it was like
they didn't have sex, but they did
like
stuff.
hand stuff.
They did bits.
Yeah.
And and then it came out like at the and then like they watched it before the reunion, and they had a big fight at the reunion, and it was amazing.
Furious. Yeah,
it was furious.
Yeah,
it was really.
This was
really,
actually
really
one of those moments in reality TV where I wasn't like, "Oh, this is so great, this is amazing." I was actually like kind of feeling sad for them. Believe it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, shut up, Max.
Yeah, so they had a rocky start. I just remember Zay, he's not good at communication. I do have this clip.
Is that a non-negotiable for you? To be heard?
To be heard.
Do you need your feelings to be heard? Do we have to have that in a relationship when he's trying to work things out with Zay?
I feel like
Johnny B, what's the motherfucking deal?
Johnny B, what's the motherfucking deal? He also
I
said
feel
that.
like that is that a deal breaker for you thing? That conversation, didn't that happen in front of her
mom
too? Jesus Christ. Oh,
they really tried to make the relationship work by putting it on a reality show.
Oh my God. It's just watching a train wreck in slow motion. That whole show, Ultimatum, is just one giant train wreck happening in slow motion.
I know. When are we getting another season? I kind of can't wait.
We need it. We need it.
So Zay, overall, I would just say maybe he's grown up a little bit. Maybe it was so terrible he's ready to.
How old is he? Did we get that?
That is a really good question. I might have gotten it. 27-year-old model.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. We really broke it down today, Ben.
Yeah, we did. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Very fun.
Yes.
Yeah. This is going to be a good season. I'm very excited. We got a lot of soundbite kings and queens on this season.
So many soundbites we're going to have. It's going to be off the chain. 4 episodes a week, 12 episodes total, 1 survivor.
Yes, $1 million winner.
Yeah, Netflix definitely throwing down 1 million.
Yes. They're known for really shelling out a lot of money in their budgets for the reality TV shows. Yeah.
Well,
I heard this cast actually got $150 a day instead of $100. So that's
oh my God. Wow. They really had to shell out to get them to come on down. Panama.
Come on down to paradise. We won't feed you. We'll give you $100 a day. It'll be fun.
You heard they had to go fishing for food. Well, thank you all for joining us on this epic adventure of assessing this cast. I believe we have assessed them.
We have.
Better than anyone else ever could.
We're going to be back tomorrow for our recap of Are You the One? Episode 5. If you're not watching Are You the One, get on board.
Yeah.
Great show. We're having fun recapping it. Check us out tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be live with that. And then, of course, later this week, we have the After the Altar dropping from Love is Blind. And that is going to be on Friday, correct, Max?
Yes.
Yes. 10th. So we'll be recapping that as well. So you can look forward to that.
Subscribe to us on Patreon. Patreon.com/realityalert for bonus content to support our podcast. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. We go live. You can join us live. Also, really helps support us. And you can check out the video versions of stuff. Follow us on Apple and write us a review on Apple if you can. Really helps us get more visible and just makes us look
no
better.
negative ones though.
No negative ones and no constructive criticism because
we'll probably make a TikTok making fun of you if you do.
Yes, so. You want to make it
beware.
5 stars, really nice things. So yes. Thank you.
Nice compliments only.
Yes. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your 2 best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
Oh, yeah. Joey pees in the shower and Joey sends nudes.